Okay, welcome back to Let's Play Train Simulator 2015. This is going to be my second attempt at making a Steam tutorial video. The first one went okay. I learned a couple things in the process. OBS is kind of complicated to set up correctly, but hopefully this should be a nice high, smooth definition video this time. And I kind of know what to expect. Had actually been a while since I played Steam engines when I recorded the last video, but now I'm kind of caught up, so hopefully this will go a little bit more smoothly. I'm going to kind of just go along as we go and not get too detailed in things right away. I'll kind of set things up as we get going, and we'll go from there. I assume most of you viewers will understand basic train controls, forward and reverse, and accelerate, decelerate, and the train brake, so forth. So we'll not focus on too much about how that works, but we'll talk about how it is specific to Steam engines. So here we are. We have a new Steam engine. This is a 460 Steam engine, at least it should be. And that comes from the fact that there's 4 running wheels, or little front wheels, and then 6 big driving wheels, and then nothing behind until you get to the coal hopper. The coal hopper doesn't count in the designation. So if you always wonder what the rail system means, it's 460. It's the number of wheels in the classification of wheels. Okay, so now we're in the main cabin, and also, you may notice, I am using track IR, so we can do the lean over the side thing. So we're on a nice little time window here, so we're going to go ahead and get going. So reverse or full forward, which is actually called the cutoff. 75% is full forward. We're going to pull the brakes off, and we're going to get this fire going. And the water is already full, so that's good. We're going to get some headlights on. We're going to sound the whistle twice, indicate that we're getting going. We're going to wait till brake pressure is approaching 21, and we are going to open the cylinder cocks, and the cylinder cocks will start firing as soon as we start moving the system forward. I don't really see cylinder cocks right now. It's an optional system. It's to get condensation out from the inside of the cylinder chest, and you turn it on until you feel like you got all the condensation out. So that's good. We can get a little bit faster here. Another thing we need to do is put the brakes in a running mode, and my understanding of this is that when you release the brakes after you apply them, you are using steam to release the brakes, because steam is fed into the system, and then it also has to be released from the system, and it's not a perfect energy system, if that makes sense. You actually have to use steam to release and if you keep it at 0%, you're actually still feeding steam into the release system, and so by putting it into running mode, now you're neutral with which way the brake is being applied. It's not being applied or released, so no steam is being used in the brake at all, and it can be focused on the engine. So what we need to do now is we need to bring the reverser down. Most of you probably know this, but the reverser is brought down because it puts less steam per stroke into the cylinder chamber, and that is more efficient. It's like the gears of your car. So we are at a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit here, so we can actually bring the reverser down here, or the regulator down to 0. And we'll keep shoveling that coal in there. Keep that going. Just feeding the fire that is boiling the water that's in the water boiling chamber to be fed into the steam pressure tube itself, which is basically the entire thing you see here. And that pressure needs to be maintained at a high enough level, which is this main meter right here, so that there's enough energy to feed into your steam chest, which is what actually causes these things to go back and forth and drive the wheels. So that's what we're trying to do right now. So our first mission on this is to try to pick up passengers from this next station, Wincanton 1. And I believe all the signals are clear. We're going to go ahead and get some full steam ahead here, because we can go up to 70 miles an hour and we don't want to be late. We are currently running a little bit behind, so we're going to try to get there as quickly as possible. I'm going to keep the fire going full up until we get it above about 85%, what they consider max strength. we're going to start using water more rapidly, so as that gets below 80%, I will try to remember to kick that on. Basically, what you got to do is inject water into the area above the fire for boiling. Not all of the water is getting boiled at the same time, because that's too large of a mass of fluid that needs to get boiled, so most of the water is in a big tank behind you. You feed it forward using the injectors, and then, of course, the fire is fed from coal, shoveled into the fire, and the amount of coal you have left is 8.89. The amount of total water you have left is 4,000 gallons. So we are going a pretty good clip here. I definitely did find out you don't want to go much below 20% here. If you're losing steam, if you're at that level, then something else is wrong. Your fire or your water is not strong or good enough. So that will have to be adjusted. 20% is pretty good. It seems like you need to really go below 20% to get to the maximum speed, though. But there may be ways around that. So we are coming up to our station now. So the brakes on this train are tricky, as they are on most steam engines. What you need to do is, when you are applying the brake, even if you stop raising the amount of brake pressure, you are increasing the brakes as long as you are in self-lapping mode. In order to stop increasing the grip on the brakes, you need to bring the brake lever back down into running so that it's neutral. See, I'll show that here. Self-lapped, or self-lapped. You need to bring it down into either running or self-lapped. So we're going to cut the regulator now, because you don't want to apply brakes at the same time as the regulator. And we can do whatever we want with the cutoff now. Since we're going to come to a full stop, we might as well bring it all the way down. I'm going to start ingesting more water here, and the fire's fine for now. So as we get closer here, it's probably a good idea to start bringing it down now. I'm going to bring it down to about 15, so we start slowing down. Again, self-lapped, now it's going to stop slowing down, or it's going to stop increasing the brake. This is the amount of brake pressure you have available to you. And so we're doing pretty good here. I'll try to get it down to about 30 as we roll into the station. We may be slowing down a little bit faster than we need to here. Actually, this looks pretty good. I'm going to put a little bit more brakes on, down to 10 psi. I keep saying psi, it's inches of mercury. I'm used to American system, so we need to slow down a lot. Slow down the rest of the way here. We're just going to go full because we are going a little fast. Try to pull this in. Alright, so we're at full now, so there's no reason to put any more brakes on. We went a little fast here. We're looking okay. Might be able to get the end of the cars onto the track here. See, I get kind of desperate. I'm like, I need to brake. Okay, so there we go. 3, 2, 1, and we can turn the water off, and we can let the passengers on. So we did it, barely. I mean, that's not too bad. Just gotta remember to brake a little bit sooner next time. Again, braking is pretty tricky. We did okay. I mean, we got only 2 cars missed, so not too big of an issue. Passengers can walk forward if you need to. So as we get close to getting ready to set off. How was I on time? Oh, I was good on time. We can release that so that we start getting the pressure back up. And as it gets above 10, we'll go ahead and sound that whistle and put it up to 50%, and we'll be on our way. Maybe. That's got to get all the way up. Okay, so here we go. Cylinder cocks are off. You can hear them running now. They're running now. No, they're not running. You don't really see them. You don't really see them. Okay, so we are doing good here. Let's go ahead and get up. And brakes to running, of course. We're at the max pressure of the boiler, and all steam engines have a safety valve which will dump the excess pressure off when it's not needed, which is exactly what happens when you're basically stopped and creating excess steam that isn't going to be used. So once you start rolling, that pressure starts to go down because it's getting used, and you need to increase your generation by bringing back the cutoff. And that's kind of what you do. You kind of juggle it, and of course the Train Simulator makes it easy. You can just see what your delta. A lot of people are, in other videos I've seen, are confused by what green and red means here. Green simply means that the steam boiler pressure is increasing, and red means that the steam boiler pressure is decreasing. It's that simple. Green if it's increasing, red if it's decreasing. There isn't really it's not doing anything. It's green if it's increasing, red if it's decreasing. So basically you kind of want to find the sweet spot. Generally, rule of thumb is you want to find the sweet spot of your cutoff so that you are just generating steam. You can even have it go under a little bit, especially if you're on an uphill. You kind of have to, because if you follow the normal curve of bringing the cutoff down and you're on a hill, you won't have enough steam to make it up the hill. So you kind of have to rely on that little amount of energy you have available to you to make it happen. But you do want to generally keep this pretty close to, if we go over here we get a better look at that, yeah, pretty close to the limit there, which is different on every train. So again, we need to bring this down, there we go, 20% is good. And we'll just kind of hold steady here as we let the train accelerate. And we're doing good on time, 3 miles. We have a nice strong fire going now, so I'm actually going to cut that off. I'm going to readjust some water. British countryside, not bad. This is the speed limit down here, or speedometer. I think when you're ingesting water, it actually uses steam to ingest water. So we're decent right now. Best time to ingest water is when you're decelerating. So we're at 29:51. I'm going to bring the regulator back here. To a point where you see that it's generating again. And we're doing pretty good. In fact, I'm going to bring it down because we're going to start seeing a little bit of a decline in the hill here. Keep it a little bit going. It's good to keep it a little bit going. Doesn't hurt. And while it's doing that, we can put the water back in. So we'll do that. Here comes the station. What was it last time? I started slowing down at about 0.6. I'm going to start slowing down at 0.5, but I'm going to bring it all the way down to about 12. So go ahead and cut off. It's good practice to actually bring this to 0 instead of full forward when you're starting to slow down. It's kind of a better thing, better practice. See, right now it's like blinking back and forth because the system's neutral. It's either decreasing or increasing. Typically it should be increasing right now though, because I'm not doing anything. Here we go. Turn the water off. We're at 60. We're going to go to about 50 here. I'm going to start applying now. Go to about 30%. Just let it build up. We'll bring it down to about... I'm going to go to 10. We're going really fast. I might actually go all the way to 5 here. Okay, we'll go to 6. Actually, let's go all the way. Yeah, we're going fast again. all the way. Not super fast, but... Okay, now we can let up. Now we're slowing down enough that we can bring it back up to about 10. 8. 8 works. Oh yeah, this is looking good. Alright, let's bring it down. Oops, wrong way. Down, 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 down. Okay, there we go. Oh, perfect. Alright, full brake. Self-flapped. Yeah, we were a little fast again, but it wasn't too bad. Okay. Let them passengers off. A nice view. That's actually pretty good. It's the same thing as last time. First 2 cars didn't make it, but most of the back ones are on there, so that's cool. As long as you get at least 1 on there, you don't get penalized. I think it like shows you like number of cars like serviced or something, but it doesn't really mean anything. Okay, now while we're waiting, we can of course charge our energy. Always a good idea to get that going. And can we just have one more station after this? Yep, one more. I believe we made it on time to this one without a hitch. Yeah, we needed to arrive at 16:29 and it's not even time yet, so. Pull ahead. And as it gets closer, we'll anticipate. Fire can go off now. Fire's pretty strong, that can go off. Alright, let's go ahead and release. And as that rises, go ahead and bring cylinder cocks open. Again, it's weird that you don't see them. I think that little bit of smoke right there is the cylinder cocks. You press C and yeah, it does go away. Okay, that's fine. You don't need to abuse that. Basically go, once you get a head of steam going, you can go full and then start bringing this back right away. If it's like at 220, it's like the safety valve is in, but then you have to bring this back like right away almost. Like as soon as you get above like 8 or 9 miles, 10 miles an hour, you gotta start bringing this back to like 40, 50, 40% if you're gonna do full. And of course you gotta set the brakes to running too, that'll always help. We have a 45 mile an hour speed limit coming up, so we'll need to abide by that. It shouldn't be too hard, it shouldn't be too easy to bust past that, as a train takes a while to get there. Full brakes are off, everything's looking good. We should be able to ride in this power setting without adding any more water or fire. It's only about 2.5 mile trip. There we go. We'll get back up to 70 again, probably by the time we even get to 45, so... If it starts looking like we're going to get there, then we'll just bring back the regulator a little. Yeah, so we'll get close. Bring it back so we have an increase in steam at our current condition. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I don't think I let it get below 200 at any point. That's pretty good performance. 44, regulator down. Let it bleed through a little bit, no problem there. Nice little shot of the train going. Cool. Looking ahead. Alright, back up to 70, we can go full steam. At least to a point where we're at 220, so we can actually, yeah, we can red line it. We're actually doing plenty of time, so I'm actually going to cut off. Bring it down to 0. So we got to slow down to 25 before we get into the station, so we got to remember to do that. So I'm going to start slowing down when the station is about 0.8 away. I'm going to slow it down to about 12 12 seems to be, it's half applied. Okay. I'm going to go to like 0.8 or 0.7 from the signal before the speed drop. There's bells on this, but I don't really hear them. Okay, let's start slowing this guy down. No regulator, brakes applied. 12, 11, that works. We're plenty ahead of schedule, so we can just kind of play around with this between 12 and 16 or so. Probably works. See, 16 is like that much below 21, but look how slowly it's applying. It's like it's barely rubbing at all. But it'll get us to where we need to be. I'm gonna actually release it. We have plenty of time here. They put a lot on time margin into these easier ones because they know how hard the brakes are to operate. I think on those first two stations, I really pushed way harder than I had to on the speed. I could have been slowing down like this, approaching the stations each time. Really, this is probably how it's done normally. Okay. Sounds more like a factory whistle than a train horn. Okay, so we can start around about 15, 16. That's more like it. Down to 12. Now that is stopping at a station. Release passengers. Didn't get the front car, but that's fine. There isn't really a way to turn off a steam engine. Just gotta let the fire die out, drain the water, let the fire out, then drain the water. But you don't do that in Train Simulator. It's like not simulated. But yep, pretty cool. So that is, in a nutshell, my method of driving steam. Pretty cool. Probably one of the better ones I've done. Again, it's just a lot of finesse, understanding your systems, what needs to be drained, what needs to be charged, and it's kind of fun. It's a more interesting way to really understand a train, and as you can see, yeah, 460, I was right about the designation. Okay, so thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll make more of these in the future. If you have any requests, anyone actually watches, wants to see me do a specific type, I know most of the main Train Simulator signaling systems, UK, current, and German. I know the German PZB, LZB, I might do a video on that shortly, because that's kind of cool to figure out how that works. There's not a lot of YouTube videos out there in English explaining it. So, catch you guys next time.